Hello everybody, how's it going? Carl aka Screezilla here, and I hope you're all well. And welcome back to Assetto Corsa Competizione, where the GT4 pack has just been released. As we get a good look at the Mercedes. Oh, the AMG. What a beast of a car, big massive V8 in the front. Anyway, just gonna have a quick look at them, and we'll do a quick race as well. And we'll do it at Hungary as well, because the Hungarian Grand Prix is about to come up, so we might as well do it there. Anyway, quick look at the cars. So, we have the smallest engine in the grid now, in the Alpine A110 GT4, which is a 1.8 litre turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine. So, very small engine, but a very nimble car. Of course, Alpine Renault, legendary car manufacturer. Many cool cars out there. The Aston Martin V8 Vantage, of course, the GT4 edition. Not as much power as the GT3, and the slightly bigger versions, of course. It's a little bit smaller, less aero. Of course, GT4, less aero, less power, less speed. It's slower cars, but they are fun to drive. Of course, you also have the driver ranking system of you can only have I think it's a single gold driver for GT4. I'm trying to remember the actual rules now. Audi, the Audi R8. So the Audi R8, awesome little car. Again, fun little car. Very popular. It's done very well. Got a few different teams like Phoenix Racing, stuff like that. So some fun teams to have it in there as well. Again, very good car, of course, rear-engined, big old, it's the 8, isn't it, in that one. And, yeah, absolutely awesome car when it came out, was just a revolution. The Bmw M4, of course, the replacement for the M3. And just look at this thing, it is just a beast of a thing. It's not quite as chunky as the M8, but it's an awesome-looking car, just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, BMWs, I love them to death. The Chevrolet Camaro Gt4, of course, the big old Camaro, big chunky American power, huge engine in the front, rear wheel drive, twin exhausts. It's a Chevy, and I think it's just the V8 racing team in that one. So yeah, I don't think we've got any others. So yeah, just the V8 racing team. The Ginetta, the second smallest engine on the grid, with equal engine to the Crossbow that we'll come up to. Ginetta, of course, the Ginetta Championship. Very good car. It's sort of, best way I can describe a Ginetta is it's kind of like it's the gentleman's GT car. It's very easy to drive, very simple, very well made, very balanced little car from England. Just one of the best cars to learn to race in, and of course there are a lot of Ginetta series out there. The Ktm Crossbow, of course KTM known for their motorcycles, they came along and made this absolute monstrosity, which has a 2-litre Audi engine in it, 4-cylinder, very light. Of course this is the enclosed version. The ones you've seen on the road usually don't have a top on them, because this is GT4, it has all the enclosed areas. Very cool little car. It's just a absolute beast of a thing. It's just so lightweight and nimble. That's its advantage. The Maserati Gran Turismo MC. Again, it's a Maserati. It's close as you're going to get to a GT4 Ferrari, really, isn't it? But yeah, the Maserati MC, just another really nice GT car. The Mclaren 570 S Gt4. A little bit more like the Audi in its regards. The GT4 version, of course, a little bit down on power, less aero, yada yada yada. A few different teams as well, which is nice. So you've got some good options in there to play around with it. and run very well in the British GT Championship. Of course, the aforementioned AMG Mercedes, lots of different teams using these because they are just gorgeous and their engine is like nothing else. Of course, the other thing we've got is all the new drivers, of course, which is just nice to see them. And then finally is one of the newcomers, really, to the GT4 field, and that's the Porsche Cayman. The Porsche Cayman, of course, the little brother of the Porsche 911. Straight six-cylinder engine in it, in the back, or middle of the car, mid-section car. Basically a smaller 911, a little bit less powerful. Obviously looks very different as well, the Cayman. But a very cool car nonetheless, and just a decent little car. Again, another very good, very successful GT4 in all honesty. But we're going to take out the Alpine, because I want to take out something that's a bit different. Let's see what colours we got. Let's see what teams and colours we got. We'll take this one out because it's sponsored by a penguin. So we'll take out the Alpine because I want to take out the car that's got the least power, just to show what the difference is for it. Okay. Opponents, what have we got? I'll drop it down to 18, just so my system doesn't melt. So hopefully that should be all good. Let's go out for a quick race at the Hungaroring. So of course the Hungarian Grand Prix coming up this weekend. We've seen Formula 1 race twice in Austria. So we're up quite close to the front. So let's just start this one all up.
Go in double file.
So yeah, Formula 1 circus is going to be coming to the Hungaroring.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curves.
Of course, we're turbocharged in this little beastie.
Green light, go, go, go.
I've not driven this car yet, not raced this car yet, so that's going to be... see how it goes, really.
Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Cold brakes, cold tyres. Oh, we're going to run wide. So yeah, the F1 circus is going to come to Hungary, so we should see some interesting stuff in that. It's going to be interesting to see how Ferrari bounce back. Of course, their fantastic double DNF at the Austrian Grand Prix did not help them. Sorry, the Styrian Grand Prix. I've had a go at a couple of the cars already as well, and they feel so different to the GT3, of course. They're much lighter, they're much more alive as well, I find. Gotta say, I'm quite a big fan of the GT4 cars because they are just so much different to a GT3 car. And it does absolutely feel great, like the cars all feel different. I took out the Gt4 first of all. I was getting about a 2-minute 3-second lap. Jumped into the Mercedes, and that dropped it down to a pretty much 2-minute dead.
Clear on the right.
Do a tap from behind. But the cars do just feel fantastic. To say they're much looser than GT3, but they're also a little bit easier to drive, I find. Just because, of course, they're a little bit slower. But definitely more lively in the rear. This Alpine is very much a little terror of a car. Does not have the straight line speed advantage. I can say that straight away. But cornering wise, it's not too bad. So, the GT4 pack released this morning, and coming next year, I think it's going to be, we're going to get the British pack as well, which is going to add 3 more tracks to the game. Very loose on the exit there.
Car on the right. Well done, mate. This is the new Russell best.
Got the Audi there. You see how much faster it is down the straight.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Don't have an answer for them in
Car on the
straight
right.
line pace, of course.
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
But we are much more nimble if we don't go wide and
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
mess up.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
It's been a while since I've actually raced in ACC, so a little bit rusty. But as you can see, it's you know, the cars, the aggression, I've got it set to about 90%, I think, for myself, because obviously your talents will vary. But the great thing about GT4 is it is very much for gentleman drivers, sort of, it's more of a sportsman pack, sort of a sportsman class of cars as well. You know, you do have your professional race drivers going in there for development sort of drives and getting ready for the big series. We're making a pretty good trolley train right now. We obviously do not have pace, but one of the good things about Hungary is it's pretty tricky to pass. Turbo, give me some speed down the straight, please.
Well done, mate. Press on fastest lap.
A good drive out of that final corner then. That's what we want, what we need. The Alpine does feel really balanced through the corners, though. It's almost nice and easy through the corner, whereas the Mercedes was very much this snarling, rip-snorting monster through the corners that just wants to step out constantly. Inside track limits that time, so that's better. But this little Alpine Renault does just feel absolutely planted through the corners. It's ready to snap if it needs to, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's just going to go out on you for no reason, you know. You feel like it's actually going to hold it quite well. Corvette behind us now, and McLaren behind them. So again, their advantage is going to be definitely down those straight sections. We just got to get good run off the corner here. Not like that.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
The leaders are running away from us at the moment.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right.
And the AI still feels great in this. Some of the best AI I think I've...
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
come across in a racing game. Because it is very tough but fair. And it doesn't make stupid lunges very often. You know, it's sort of very rare that it will just pile into you, which is nice. So the AI in the GT4s is very much spot on straight away, which is also a really good thing as well. Because that's of course a big point for Assetto Corsa Competition. It has a decent multiplayer grid now. It's sort of getting a lot more traction now. The game's been out a bit longer. The sim's gaining a lot more traction as it goes, of course. But when you've got rivals like iRacing and things like that that do have a lot more track variation, I guess, it tends to struggle a little bit. But the big thing about competition is the look of it just is, well, I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous, isn't it, really?
Leaders on final lap now.
But it's very focused as well, so that's one of the big things about it. It's such a focused sim that it doesn't try and do everything. It doesn't have, you know, a million tracks and a million different cars. It's very much a focused racing sim where it's focused on quality over quantity. And with the GT series that it has, it's very, very good in that respect. Just cut across his nose. But yeah, the cars do feel absolutely mega. I imagine the crossbow is a bit of a weapon around here as well. Change position behind us, we've got a Mclaren chasing us down now. I didn't think we'd start so high, but that really has helped us for our finishing position, in all honesty, because I don't think we would have made many positions up in this race.
Finished the race.
But we've managed to defend pretty well in this car. It's got the drivability to it. This little Alpine. Definitely not the fastest though.
job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
So yeah, all in all, that's quite good. Got to say, quite happy with that. So as you can see, it just looks gorgeous, doesn't it, really? But there's so much variation in GT4 racing, which is just great, and it's what we like to see. So you definitely see there, you know, we didn't really have the speed, but we did have that cornering ability. You can see a much smaller car in the Alpine as well. So, you know, it's got that nice little small car ability to it. Let's just head out, and we'll just take a lap in the Mercedes as well before we finish up, just to give you an idea. Maybe not, actually. We'll go for... What should we go for? Let's go for the Maserati. I'm going to go for the BMW, actually. Sod it. We'll go for the BMW. And... that looks good. So, let's just change it to a practice. And we'll go at midnight. We'll go for a dark lap in the car. So yeah, the cars feel absolutely great. The balance feels really good, which is absolute bonus, of course.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And of course, nighttime is just glorious still. It looks so good. You can hear the difference in the engine note as well for the BMW. It's a much louder, much hungrier beast. Very different feeling car as well. You can feel the difference in the cars as well. Like it's very much not like same sort of feeling between every car. They do all feel super different. The BMW's got a lot more oversteer to it. Feels heavier as well. You can just feel it just wading through the corners like a bit of a whale. But also just so much more power underneath your foot as well. And as I said, the game just looks just glorious, doesn't it, really? Keep it in third gear for the final corner, obviously. It's got different gearing as well. That beautiful high-end buzz as well as we get to the top end of the rev ranges. See what sort of lap time we can knock out in this one. It's all gone wrong.
Got some light damage on the front of the
Well, that didn't go to plan. But yeah, gives you an idea, obviously. Let's just have a little look at the replay. As I said, so many bloody different replay options in this as well. But the car looks and sounds great. I'm going to shut up for a moment so you can hear it. But yeah, you could just see the cars are so very different, and just the sound of them as well is great. So we'll abandon that try for a fast lap in it, but we get the general idea. Well worth picking up if you're a fan of GT racing. The GT4 cars just feel so good. They just feel so much fun to drive as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Not the best lap from me. At least the race went a lot better than expected. So that's something good. But obviously the fast lap there, not so much fun. But yeah, we will be getting some more tracks next year as well. So some more British tracks. So I imagine. Don't know actually what we're going to be getting. We've got Silverstone Brands Hatch, obviously, so we'll keep an eye on that when it finally comes out. But yeah, definitely well worth it. And now with the added GT Challenge tracks of course, Bathurst, Laguna Seca, Suzuka, Kyalami, and Zolder, of course. Wait, Zolder or Zandvoort? Zolder, wasn't it? Was Zolder, wasn't it? Was it? No, we always had Zolder and Zandvoort, didn't we? Yeah. Sorry, I'm going mad there. But yeah, we've got some really nice tracks on the actual calendar as well. So that is great. There's some really good options for different things. Of course, your GT4 Challenge, your Gt4 Pack, got Misano, places like that, and obviously Spa, Silverstone, Nürburgring. Some good tracks to play around with, good options on different tracks. So yeah, well worth it in my mind. The GT4s are absolutely stunning. The fact that you've got the GT World Challenge cars of 2018 and 19, the GT Challenge cars and the GT4 cars now really makes this stand out as a bit of a successor to GTR, if you will. Just having those GT cars available to you to race again. Alright guys, until next time, this is me, Carl Screezalo, out. Bye bye.